Hello, everyone. We are talking about knees today. This is the no knee replacement mobility routine. This is excellent to do as much as you can just to make sure that your knees are rotating and moving fluidly so that there is no wear and tear on our ankles and our hips or any low back discomfort because of lack of mobility in the knees. So, all you will need for today is just one yoga block. Um, if you find that being seated on the ground is not comfortable for you, I would grab a chair, a stool, something to just prop your bottom on, and you can modify in that way. Other than that, all you need as well is floor space. So just something that you can slide your feet on. So maybe grab some socks, or if you have paper plates, anything that is slippery that you will be able to move your feet on comfortably. We are going to be starting with axial rotations of the knee. So grab your right leg, and I want both hands to be underneath your knee pit. You'll feel your hamstring tendons, which are on the outside of the knee, as well as the inside of the knee. They kind of feel like thick ropes. You're going to pull your thigh into your chest as much as is comfortable. If you need to adjust, making it a little bit more wider than narrow, you can. And we are going to pretty much assess the rotational capacity of the knee, rotating the shin bone out and rotating the shin bone in towards the middle. So again, rotating the shin bone out and rotating the shin bone in. When you rotate out, you'll feel that hamstring tendon stiffen like a rope, and vice versa going in, you'll also feel it. So really squeeze at the end of your rotations. As you're going through these, you want to make sure that the thigh bone is not going in and out, swaying out and in like that. You also want to make sure you're not just flopping your foot right to left, which is very easy to do so when this is maybe your first time doing knee rotations like this. But just try to do your best consciously blocking thigh going in and out, and also overworking the foot and ankle, because we are more so focusing on our shin bone going out and in. The foot is essentially just going along for the ride. We're slowly going to change the angle here. So I'm going to have you extend the knee just a little bit. I'm going to change my view just to show you what I did. So my knee at the first angle was a little bit closer to my thigh, and then I moved it slightly away from my thigh bone. And we'll do the same thing here. So you're going to rotate your knee out and rotate your knee in. It's very easy to get wrapped up on what the foot and ankle is doing, but I want to be clear that these are shin bone axial rotations. So the focus is on more so the knee, not the foot and ankle. If you're asking if you're doing this right, you should feel squeeze more so on the inside of the shin bone going in, and you should feel a little squeeze on the outside shin bone going out. 2 more rotations going out and in, out and in, and then we'll change the angle one more time. So you lose rotation the straighter your knee gets. You have more rotation when your knee is more in a bent position. So it is perfectly normal to feel like you lose range of motion as we straighten the knee. Make sure also that your knee is not completely locked out, completely straight, because you will not have access to any rotation once you've locked out the knee. So go in, squeeze in the inside, go out, squeeze on the outside. In and out and in, doing your best to relax the top of your foot, moving the shin bone. Nice. And we're going to do same thing, other side, switching. If you found that being seated like this is not comfortable, grab a chair, a stool, maybe not a stool because that'll be too high, or like a short stool, something to sit on to make you more comfortable. We'll start with the leg in more of a flex position, so the heel closer to your hips, and you are going to rotate that shin bone out, and you are going to rotate the shin bone in. Again, rotate shin bone out and rotate shin bone in. Be very careful that the thigh bone doesn't move, because that will be going into hip rotation, and we are working on knee rotation right now. I've changed my hand placement probably more than 5 times at this point. Don't worry about where your hands are. That's completely up to you. I'm kind of using mine as a blocking / feedback mechanism so I don't sway. Here we go. We're going to change the angle. So you're going to slightly straighten the knee, not lock it out, but just a little bit more straight, rotating in and rotating out. Squeeze inside shin bone stuff and then squeeze outside shin bone stuff. Chase the sensation of that squeeze on the end of your rotations to make this a little bit more intentional versus going very fast and just flip-flopping the leg back and forth like this. Very easy to go on autopilot. This work is a little more specific, a little more intentional. So really take your time to feel those sensations. Last one, we slowly straighten a little bit more. Once again, don't lock out your knee. I still have a soft bend. You're going to go in and you go out. Remember, you lose rotation the straighter the leg is. So try not to compromise getting more range of motion for letting the thigh go and the foot go. Still be intentional about just moving your shin bone in and your shin bone out. Just let the foot and ankle kind of go for the ride. One more set here, going out and then going in. Awesome. Okay, so you are going to grab one of your yoga blocks. It's going to go in between your legs. So this can either be long ways, just depending on hip comfort, or the block can be here. But we're going to do bilateral knee rotations. Pretty much the same thing we just did, but with 2 legs at the same time, as well as a little bit of irradiation tactic for squeezing this block. Okay, come to your heels. You are going to externally rotate your shin bones and then internally rotate your shin bones. I don't have very long feet, so I can get away with my legs being this close together. But if you have larger or longer feet, you can move your heels away from each other so that you have space to internally rotate to your max and rotate outward. Once again, we're squeezing in and squeezing out, keeping like 30 to 50% of tension in that block between the knees. I'm not crushing it, but I'm just giving it a gentle hug to maintain tension. Squeeze the out, squeeze the in. Nice. We're going to keep external rotation, so keep your shin bones rotated out. Slowly extend your knees. Keep fighting to constantly squeeze your shin bones out. Relax your feet. Keep the knee rotation. Nice. And then we rotate back in. And I want you to keep squeezing as you wrap your shin bones in. Remember, you get more rotation as you bend your knees more. So continue to squeeze every inch out as you bend. Again, external rotation. Keep fighting to spiral your shin bones out, 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 out as you extend the knees. Don't lock them out. And then rotate in. Remember, you can move your heels away if they are touching. And then pulling the heels towards your bottom. You will feel a little bit of hamstring stuff as well, especially if you have nice traction on the floor here. Okay, let's reverse. Keep your shin bones rotating out. As you pull your thighs to your chest, keep that fight of squeezing, spiraling, rotating those shin bones out. It should feel quite difficult to do that if you are fighting hard enough for more rotation at your in ranges. Again, rotate out. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Do your best to relax ankles and squeeze more in the shin bones. Good. 2 more here. Rotate out, out, out. Relax ankles. Pull the heels towards your hips. And then again, shin bones rotate inward. You go out, out, out. Nice. Let's finish this last rep. Shin bones rotate out. Keep squeezing, keep rotating, keep spiraling. Hamstrings and outer shin bone muscles are working hard. Awesome. Whew. Remove that block. We'll finish with a knee car. There's a few options to do this. I'm going to show the first one. If you are able to kind of hook your arm underneath your thigh bone, have the opposite hand on your knee, you can do your knee car here. I'll demonstrate. So my heel is squeezing in towards my hip. I'm going to rotate out my shin bone, extend my knee, but don't lock it. It's not going to completely straighten. It physically can't here. And then you rotate in, keep rotating in as you bend. Again, knee rotates out, extend, knee rotates in, keep squeezing the in, bend. Again, rotate out, extend, rotate in, and bend. The other way you can do this, I'm going to show the reverse of that, but in a different setup. You can keep your foot on the floor. So you rotate in, extend, but don't lock it. Rotate out, and then bend. Again, rotate in, extend, rotate out, and bend. One more. That first variation, it would look like this. Rotate in, extend, rotate out, and bend. We'll do 3 forward and then 3 back on the opposite side, so you can hug the thigh to your chest if that was comfortable for you, or just keep your foot on the ground. Here we go. We have external rotation of the knee so that shin bone spirals out. I keep it spiraling out, 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 out as I extend, and then I rotate the shin bone in and flex the knee. Again, rotate it out, extend, rotate it in, and flex. One more, rotate it out, extend, rotate it in, and flex. I'm going to show reverse, but in the other option of setup, my knee is rotated in. I extend, fully extend, rotate it out. Keep fighting for more rotation as I pull it in. Again, knee rotates in. Watch out for the thigh bone moving. Extend, don't lock the knee. Rotate it out and then bend. One more here. Internal rotation. Extend. External rotation. And bend. Awesome. That concludes our knee mobility routine. You can do these multiple times during the week. I think this is excellent just to keep longevity and good health of the knees. So yeah, add them into your routine, and I will see you next time.